Hello, 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 everyone. Happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday, everybody. Hello, hello. We want to thank you all for joining us
Mm-hmm.
on the God It's Real and Raw podcast.
That's right.
My name is Pedro,
My name is
and we
Tara.
just want to say thank you again.
That's right.
How's everybody doing out there
In those streets.
in those streets? We are not in the States, we're in the UK. Nobody be in the streets in the UK.
Oh, now you know you wrong for saying that. People be all up in the streets in the
Yeah,
UK,
yeah,
okay?
I guess.
They be knocking them down.
Mm, yeah, that's why our children don't go out on the streets.
Yeah, I think children should be in the house. Um,
No, I mean, they should be able to go out and play, but it just depends where you live and
yeah,
just, things
and the
like that.
company that they keep,
Yeah.
it all plays a part in that. So
Are you saying that you don't trust some of the people they keep?
no, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying, the friends that they may have, can be a good, good or bad influence on them.
Mm.
So, we have to be mindful of who they around, who they folks, try to find out who they folks are if we can. And yeah, but that's a long road ahead right now. So, because our answer right now is no.
Definitely nope.
No,
Nope.
you're not
They
going
don't even
nowhere.
ask because they
No,
know it's nope.
they're like,
It's not even no. It's nope.
right. The thing is, Sky had told me once, she was like, Mom, my friend asked me, was it okay for us to meet at Asta, to go to the little McDonald's and hang out? And I was like, oh, nope. And she was like, well, I already told her my parents not going to let me go. So, no. So she wasn't even upset because she already knew our answer before she even asked us. But she
Oh,
just
we could
told
have
me
went
about
if
it.
we all sat there with them.
Yeah. But no, she wanted to go where she get dropped off.
Oh, heck no.
No, sis, we don't do dropping off.
Heck,
No,
heck,
we don't do drop offs.
heck.
So
No.
no, she's only 12 years old.
Well,
Ain't
as
no
Michael Kai
way.
used to do on My Wife and Kids.
All right. Oh
No.
my goodness. Right. No, it's not gonna happen. So don't
Mhm.
even ask.
I think you used to do like the no. Heck no. None.
Yeah, because I just feel like it's just too much trouble out there waiting for them. Like,
Mm.
nah, I'm good. And telling what people, into they one way when they see the parents, but when you leave, these kids go, hey, wow. So nope, been there, done that.
Yep.
So
Not happening.
we ain't even rolling like that.
That's right.
Mm-mm. But yeah,
But yeah. So how you doing today?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Oh, besides you getting on my nerves, I'm fine.
Oh, you know what? I was just saying how much you get on mine. I think we think just alike, don't we?
That's why we've been married for 17 years.
Mm. Lord
Hmm.
knows that's been a long ride.
A long, long ride. Yeah. Who would
But
have thought that we would be together this long?
God knows.
Only God knew.
Because we did
Because
it.
I know I didn't know. That's for sure.
It was a lot of times I was ready to hit the door, but
You hit the door a couple of times, actually.
yeah, several times. But
Sometimes when I was ready to hit the door,
yeah, well, hey, I want to stop you from
but
leaving.
the car kept bringing me back home.
Yeah, because you know where the good at. You know where the good.
Whatever, good, please. I go out of those streets and get the good.
Right. Everything
I
that
need
look good
I
don't
need,
mean it is.
I need the great.
Oh, you need the great. So
That's
what am
right.
I then?
You did okay.
Look at you. You trying to. You can't be okay with somebody you've been with 17 years, bro.
I know.
You better
Nah,
get it together.
you know you great.
I
Why
better
you
be.
acting like that? Whatever.
I better be. I thought so.
Whatever. Humility is not your strong suit.
Right.
Your humility for your singing does not, carry over to when you're talking about,
Myself? When I'm being
yeah,
myself?
that's right.
Well, how being myself going to show in my singing? I don't see how that's two and two
Whatever.
together. Okay, moving on.
Moving on.
Oh man, so
Yeah,
I'm really
so
excited about our topics that we're gonna be talking about today.
you
So yeah,
just want to get right into it.
we can jump right into it. So guys, we're gonna be talking about sex before and after marriage. I would say the expectations that you may have thought you was gonna have before you jumped in your marriage, and some that's after you've been, enter into marriage, what you may have thought it would have been like all this time or all that time.
All right.
So,
So you want to pray for us first?
sure.
All right.
Lord, thank you for this day. Thank you, Lord, for allowing us to come together on this Sunday. I'm asking you, Lord, to be with each listener. Help them to receive something from this in some way to help their relationship or their marriage. Lord, just want to thank you again for marriages and for families. Lord, I pray in your son Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
Hmm.
So yeah, so expectations before sex, for sex, before and after marriage.
Right.
So when we got married, we did not. How
No,
can
I
I?
was gonna I was gonna ask you that a question first. I'm sorry to cut you off,
Hmm.
but I was gonna ask you what was your expectations of sex before you married me? Like, what was your expectations before then?
My expectation
Because you
was,
only because you've been married before, so
yeah.
you had to have some type of expectations.
Well, honestly, my expectation, I'm not exactly sure what I expected because in my previous marriages, it was not, sex was there, but it was different because I
Mm-hmm.
think every woman is different.
Right.
So, when we got together, I have been with multiple women,
Right.
even during my two previous marriages,
Mm-hmm.
where I was cheating on my wives.
Right.
So my expectation was I was not sure what to expect. I was,
Oh.
to be honest, I wasn't even sure if I could be monogamous with you. Um, you know, I was not even sure if I could be monogamous with you for a long period of time.
Really?
Yeah, because you got to look at it from my perspective.
Mm-hmm.
I came in already been cheating on my previous wives, unfortunately.
Right.
Not proud of it, but I was.
Right.
And so when I got with you,
Something that
I
happened.
was thinking I want to be just with her, but I
Right.
wasn't sure if I could do that.
Be just with one person.
Yeah, just be with one person because I mean, everybody's story is different. Everybody's marriage is different. So when I got with you, my expectation was to be just with you,
Right.
but I was not sure if I could just be with you.
Mm.
So I was like, wow, can I do this? And
When
there
did?
was
Oh,
times
sorry.
there were times when in our marriage we hit rough spots where I could have that thought like, man, you could just go get, the next chick. Or you could just go and, find somebody else.
Right.
But I think when I met you, I was in a different mindset of that. I was tired of that game because I knew that road. I knew where it led to.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, I'm gonna stick it out. I'm not gonna do that to my wife. I'm gonna, because I've said before in the podcast, of all the things that we've been through, I know the one thing that would have broke our marriage up was if I had slept with somebody else.
Mm.
That's the number. That's the only. Is the weirdest thing. That's like the only thing that would have broke our marriage up,
Mm.
especially with all the things we have been through, with the abuse, and with the fights,
Right.
and with the arguments, and
Mm-hmm.
with you leaving, and with coming back and forth. We still stuck it out. We still hung in there. But if one of us had cheated on the other, I know I would have kept you. I would have stayed with you still. I've told you that before.
Really?
Yeah, I've told you that. I would have
Hmm.
stayed you. I would have stayed with you before.
Questioning
But you
if
definitely
that
would
was
have
the
left
only
me.
thing that would have broke up, if being with someone, committing adultery would have caused you to leave, then why would you stay with, if it was,
No, it would have caused you to leave.
oh, okay, so you only didn't do it because it would have been a result of me leaving,
Yes,
not necessarily you
I
leaving.
wouldn't have left
Hmm.
because, as I told you before, with the abuse, and I told you that you had overtones of a man that was trying to hit on you,
Mm-hmm.
and you had a thought process of what if. And when you came to me, you told me, you said you were so shocked that I didn't get upset.
Yeah.
I didn't get upset because I expected that to happen. I expected you to maybe not run into the arms of another man, but another man, because the devil is, like we always say, the devil is real. And at that moment of weakness and at that moment of needing and that
The
moment of
vulnerability.
vulnerability, yeah, you were, it was I expected it.
Mm,
It didn't shock me. So that's probably why I was not upset more than anything else when you came to me with the story and told me,
right.
because I was, and I told you I'm not shocked.
Mm,
So I would have stayed with you because I would have understood. I think we're going to get into it, but I'll explain a little bit more about it as we talk more into it, because I think we need to get into the before
right.
and the after, and then you'd understand,
Right.
because it's definitely
Um,
is a mindset. Is a mindset.
right.
I'm older, so I'm in a different mindset than when I was younger. If I was younger,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like beforehand, like when you was younger, and that's what I'm saying. 'Cause sometimes when we young, we have expectation before we even meet the person we're gonna marry,
hmm
right? So I'm just like, well, when you was younger, you may have seen movies or experience a sexual.
excuse me, you're being real thing. It's not movies. When you see
Okay,
pornography,
okay, can I finish? When you watch some type of porn, soft porn
hmm
shows, or they have some type of
hmm
sexual indigo in
they
it.
gave you the wrong
Yeah, so
expectation.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Or maybe you didn't, or maybe you had some type of experience in a way that maybe you thought, or maybe this was sex should be like. You know what I'm saying? Some people have been hurt and different things like that. So by the time you got to the point of marrying someone, your expectations of what you thought sex would be like, because we know that watching porn and the different things like that, we know that stuff is not real. We
Well,
know
no,
that.
okay, let's put it this way.
I'm
No,
talking
no,
about
wait,
in the
wait.
sense
No,
of what
we
in the
know, wait.
reality of
No, say,
a
wait.
normal
You're
person.
saying that wrong, because you say we know it's not real, but at the time we don't know, we don't realize that, because when you have a habit of looking at pornography, is a classic devil move, because it is a quick and what's the word? Is a quick and satisfying
Hmm.
event.
In your mind,
But then the
in your
event,
mind, you mean?
not just in your mind, in your whole body, like you have a like a, but then it's gone. So
Right.
as quick as it came, it has left.
Mm.
So if you expect that in a marriage, then that's why I think some people can't, their marriage don't last, because they have the expectation of, oh, why are you not reacting the way the person reacted on TV
Right.
that I was just watching? Why are you not, you know, sprouting, or why you not
We got to be PG,
responding?
PG, PG.
I'm sorry. Well, that's the real and raw. We're gonna talk real and raw. I'm sorry.
Okay,
Excuse me.
we just got to try to be as
I
much as we can.
apologize to the listeners that are listening on a vintage radio.
Oh my god.
I'm sorry, guys, but I have to be a
Uh,
little bit raw, because we don't talk about this in the church.
right.
We don't talk about this even in real life.
Yeah.
We is a taboo. It's like people don't want to talk about sex and what it takes to
Hmm.
make to have good sex in a marriage.
True.
Everybody's wants to, you know, just cover it over it and say, oh, you're supposed to not have sex before marriage. But it's something that could happen. We're going, we're not proud of this. We had sex before marriage.
Yeah.
We
If I
did.
knew what I knew
But
today, I wouldn't
see,
have went down
don't do
that
that.
road.
Don't do that, because we didn't know.
Hmm.
We knew. In all honesty, we're lying to ourselves if we say that. We did know when we was having sex before marriage. We knew, but we was lusting after each other.
Right.
So I think that's why we had a lot of issues in the beginning of our marriage,
Hmm.
because we did not start the marriage off right.
Hmm.
See, this is
We
the
was already giving
this is
ourselves to each
right,
other
but
that wasn't even
no,
our husband or wife.
but it wasn't even that. See, this is the
Yeah,
thing.
it was
We
that.
were. I mean, it was that too, but more than anything else. See, this is a proof that God, even though you may start off wrong, He can make things right.
Yeah.
This shows the power of God, that He can make things right even when you start off on the wrong path,
Right.
because He knows the path that you're going to take down the
Hmm.
road.
Hmm.
So He sees, okay, this was going to happen 10, 15 years from now. So even though they started off wrong, I'm not going to punish them. They're going to
Hmm.
have hard times,
Hmm.
and they're going to have to learn, which we did.
Yeah.
But when they get older and they get more mature and they get more understanding of each other and of their marriage, then they will understand that what they did was wrong, but then they will understand and maybe help somebody else, help a young person
A young
to
couple that's
understand, a young couple
Mhm.
understand, you know what, marriage is not marriage is not all about sex. You know, you don't get married to have sex. I remember there's a clip, and I used to love this clip. It's a movie called Johnny Dangerously, and the couple was trying to hold off having sex until they got married. And the moment they got married in the courthouse, they went into a broom closet
Wow.
and had sex. And then a janitor walked in. He was like, "Lord have mercy," and I used to laugh at that. I mean, I used to laugh at that, but that was the society that we live in.
Yeah.
You know, the culture that you're not supposed to have sex before you're married, but as soon as you get married, you go into a broom closet. That was so, when you really think about it and break it down, you're like, wait a minute, that was so um unnecessary and so wrong,
It
because
was wrong that they went
because
into the broom
right,
closet
because
because they had been wanting it all that time.
yeah, because they should have, they didn't really enjoy each other. That was just instant gratification. Do you
Hmm.
understand how that
It
made
should
it?
have been more intimate.
Yes, it should
Okay.
be more intimate because it's between the husband and the wife.
Right.
And I know it's a comedy and I know it's TV, but that's how that's my point, is that's how TV pushes it. They push sex almost as like instant gratification.
Yeah.
So they push it like the man is supposed to want it and the woman is supposed to just say, "Okay, take it." And then you both get instant gratification, but that is so far from the truth.
Yeah.
Because just because we, and you know this, just because you and I as a married couple have sex does not mean that we're both going to be instantly gratified
Or satisfied.
or satisfied.
Yeah.
It does not mean that. It does not mean that you're going to enjoy it. One of us want to. Sometimes one of us is not going to enjoy it.
Wow. Has there been times where you think
Or it's been times, and you, it's been times for you.
yeah, I would say
You
so.
know, and see, the trick is for like me. What I've
So you
learned,
so when you say times you haven't enjoyed, did that mean that it was faked?
I haven't enjoyed it when I know you're faking it.
How would you know I'm faking it?
I can tell.
How?
Just your body language, your body movement, your placement, your whole tone of how you are. I can. I'm not saying I'm perfect. So there's been sometimes probably where you have faked and I did not know,
Mm-hmm.
but I just know now. In the beginning, probably not. In the beginning of our relationship, probably not. But to be fair, when we were
Well, in the
like
beginning,
bunny,
it
we're
wasn't no fakeness at
right
all.
and
Trust
right
that.
and right. I'm saying in the beginning we was like bunny rabbits. It
Yeah.
was not no fakeness in that.
Yeah.
But see, it wasn't true love though. It was more lusting. We was
Yeah.
lusting after each other.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what we learned now, that we was lusting. We was not really making love,
Yeah.
or we was not knowing each other's body. We was just bang bang, thank you, ma'am. And then we was both like, we thought we was both happy, but we wasn't.
Mm.
You know, because if you think, you really think about this, in the beginning of our marriage, we would make love or have sex, and then we would have like some of the biggest arguments right afterwards.
Yeah.
Why is that?
Because we wasn't really getting to know each other.
Exactly. We wasn't getting to know each other.
Yeah.
We thought sex
We'll fix.
solved
Yeah.
everything.
Solved
Oh,
everything.
you're mad at me? Let's have sex. Then you're not mad at me anymore. No, the problem's still there.
Yeah. Out of the fact. Yeah.
The issue is still there. Just because you stop for 10, 15, 30, an hour, 2 hours, whatever how long you take, doesn't mean that the problem's still not there. It's still there.
Yeah.
So wait a minute. How did you have to realize that?
Yeah.
So yeah, I could tell. We've had this discussion before. We've had this discussion before.
Mm-hmm.
I don't I don't believe that I can't believe you did not recharge the thing. I
Sorry.
You did not plug in the, oh my goodness.
I
Anyway,
just did.
I know. But anyway, so I digress.
Stop
But
digressing then.
yeah, stop digressing, whatever. I think that I don't, as I said before to people as you're listening, this is for our life experiences. We're not claiming to be professionals. We're not trying to say that we know it all. We're
Mm-hmm.
just talking about how we have progressed as a married couple and how we have um gotten to know each other.
Right.
And I think when I don't even think I know, when you first get married, you have to, what's the one thing you think you have to do for a marriage? What two things, what one main thing do you think in marriage is the most important thing? I want to see what you think.
The most two main things.
Or two main things, but more than just two. Just one is one particular thing that coincides with marriage that you have to do.
Spend time with each other, pray
No,
together.
no. Yeah, that's all. Yeah, that's two. But we don't combine these two. We saw some things on this, and we they was talking about it.
Right.
You don't remember?
No, I
No,
don't.
it's fine.
Sorry.
You have to work. It's work and marriage.
Work and marriage.
People don't put the two together.
Mm-hmm.
They don't think that you have to work for your marriage. They
Right.
don't think you have to work for sex.
Mm. Oh, that's true because they feel like sex when you marry, sex should always just be available all the time.
Exactly, and it's
It should
not.
be like clockwork. Like when I want it, I should get it.
Yeah, but it
You
doesn't
know.
work that way
Yeah.
because when we get married, we are now one. We're
Mm-hmm.
not equally yoked.
Right.
Well, not equally yoked unless you're in the same religion, but you're equally yoked.
Mm-hmm.
And now comes the hard part because like when we got married, we really didn't know each other.
No, we didn't.
We thought we knew
We
each other,
thought we did.
but we didn't know each other
No.
because we had been together for a while. Oh, I know my husband. Oh, I know my wife. But then as soon as we got married, it was little things that just used to
Little
just
things that pop up, you'd be
oh,
like,
I'll
what?
be honest, they
When
used
was
to just
this?
piss me off. I'd be like, what is going
I
on?
used to be
Yo,
like,
like chick, like what is going on? Are
yeah,
you serious?
hey, I was the same way. I was like, who is this dude?
Yeah, like and I told you before.
Like,
I've been in situations where once I'm a true believer of this. When you get married and get that paper,
it
it
definitely
changes.
changes things.
Oh yeah, you pass
Yeah.
the boyfriend girlfriend thing. Number one, when you get married, now you're I won't say stuck, but you're with the person. So you have to realize when you get married, you're not waking up every day, every morning that God blesses you to wake up. You're waking up next to that person
To see that person.
to see that person, and you're gonna
Hmm.
see the same person every day, 365 days a
So
year.
I'm gonna add, that's why you have to be so careful who you choose to marry. Allow God
No,
to
see, no,
bring
no,
that
no, no.
person
Exactly.
into
I'm about
your
to say,
life.
don't,
Let me finish
not
the
what you
statement.
choose.
Let me finish the statement.
Mm-hmm.
Allow God to impress on you and send that person into your life because He would do that. You know what I mean? And He would, give you that discernment. Like, oh, is this the right, guy? Is this the right woman that I should be with? And sometimes we make quick decisions on temporary feelings
Mm-hmm.
that we don't really know that's really real at
So
that
this,
time.
okay. So here's a question. We was quick. What made you realize that I was the one? Because we was quick. We met in February, right on Valentine's Day, actually, or the day before, and then we got married like 6 months later.
Okay. So what made me think you was the one? I promise you, I had I had prayed and asked God to send me a husband, right? But I knew it wasn't gonna be the perfect husband.
Mm-hmm.
But I
And that was
wanted,
not perfect.
but
That's
I
for
knew
sure.
someone. I wanted someone that loved Him, that loved Jesus, and that loved family, and that was a provider. And a lot of things I noticed about you early on that I saw that you was a worker, that you like to work, that you was a providing person, that you was a family person because you like family. And I know you love your kids at the time that we didn't have children together, but you had your other boys. And I saw how much you loved them and took care of them. So it was I kind of just had this feeling, you know. And I was like, I just saw something in you.
Mm.
It was just something in you that,
It was the Holy Spirit talking in your gut.
yeah,
Gotcha.
it's just something in you that I knew you was gonna be the person that was gonna be settled, and you was already older than me, so you
Mm-hmm.
already kind of knew what you wanted, and you had been through all the other different challenges in your life,
That's
being
funny.
married.
That's funny that you said that because
I'm saying being
that
married
was actually
before.
why you was trying to break up with me all those
Right.
times.
So being married, I'm just saying, I'm just saying from your background and your experience, you have been there and been through some things. So by the time we met and got together, you was kind of I would say at that time used at a mindset of just being with one person, because I had been dating other guys that just wasn't ready for to be settled, wasn't ready to be a husband, wasn't ready to provide, wasn't ready to do those things that I was ready for.
Now that's funny because, like I said earlier, when we got married, I was ready, but I was not sure if I could do it.
Yeah, you could be one person, but see,
Right.
I always knew I could be one person. I always knew that.
I always thought I could be with one person, but I just was.
Is it just me as a woman, or is it that men generally? I'm just asking the question, not saying that that's all men,
Mhm.
but do men generally want to just be with one woman, or they want to be with several women?
I think men have to get to a point in their life where they have to understand that they want to be with just one woman,
Right,
because like we say, when you cheat, that's just, I told you this other night, when you cheat, it's just the easy way out.
right,
That's just the punk way out, because when you cheat, you're like, you know what, I'm just gonna cheat. And then you say, oh, you and then I love when a man says, oh, I cheated because you didn't want to give me none, or I cheated because you did this or you did that, or even a woman says that about the man.
right,
It don't matter what the wife or the husband does. Cheating is a me thing, is a selfish thing, is what you wanted to do.
right. Yeah, I would say
Nobody can
that.
make you cheat.
Hmm.
You cannot,
You
there's been
already have it in your
there's
mind that you want to be with
exactly
different people.
yeah, I when I was in relationships in the past, and I would see this fine girl, and we talking, and you push the conversation towards that,
Right.
to see
How
if there's a
far?
chance.
Mm-hmm.
So you push the boundaries. You say, let me push a little bit more. Let me push a little bit more.
Mm,
And then she's like, oh, I like you too. Oh,
right.
that's it. Oh, you like me too? Oh, why don't we go out for dinner? Or
Mm,
why don't we go spend some time together?
right.
And then you push that envelope, and then you just keep pushing and pushing. And the next thing you know, boom, you're with that person, but you have your wife or your husband at home.
Mm,
So it's selfish because you already know in your mind what you want to do. So it's a mindset of, when I get with this wife or when I get with my husband, I'm going to stay with this one person for the rest of my life.
mm,
I am not going to um, venture outside of my marriage, no matter how bad things may get. Because that's the next thing. When people get bad, when things happen, when arguments happen, that's where the work comes in. You don't want to work. You got to learn to work with the person that you're with, and say, okay, you know what, this is maybe happening, but you know what, I love you, so let's make this happen.
right.
And there may be times where you have a dry spot where you just don't have sex with your spouse.
Right.
It's going to happen. There's
Yeah.
been times when we've gone through dry spouts. I
Hmm.
remember there was a
Like a
time,
drought.
when I was working 3 jobs and tired as what
You
not
talked
and
about this
thing.
before.
Yeah, but I'm talking about it again. And you
Ugh.
came to me, it's like, you don't want me. You're with
Oh
somebody
my
else. Da 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 da
gosh.
da. I'm like, chick, chill out, woman. Like, what are you talking? I'm tired. You ain't tired. What? I'm working from like 6 in the morning to 10 o'clock at night, and I'm coming home and putting the kids to bed. And you talking about, oh, now we gotta have sex? No, daddy needs sleep. you know.
And I hey, look, you got all the sleep you got. But anyway, moving
But
on.
I know, but the reason I actually brought that up is because this is the one thing that I will say. So with women, I
I,
find
mm-hmm.
women are very complex. And so what I find with women is that you have there's things in life. So like when we got married, I have
Complex and
baggage.
I'm sorry, complex in what way?
Meant just in different, and because it's different layers. It's like an onion. I consider like I consider you like an onion.
Okay, think about it. Like, okay, getting back to my question, getting back to what I was saying, like for some women, I had asked you what do men perspective on that. So as for women, I think some women, not all women, but some women, if they have grown up with a mother and a father, seeing what marriage is,
You didn't ask
then
that question. You're asking the question now.
no, I was saying as a woman perspective,
hmm
some women, like as for me, I always like, oh, I wonder what it's gonna be like to have a husband. I wonder what it's gonna be like to, to just I never thought about being with several men. You get what I'm saying?
hmm
I always thought about it just being with one husband, a family, and your life starts. That's what I always thought. And I still think that way. I just think it depends on how a woman or a man may have been modeled or raised, that they see that you don't have to be with several people to still be loved.
That is partly true. That is partly true, but I think some women or even men, when they get, they it becomes a mindset of that they just want to play the field because even though they may, even because you have people that grew up in a family with the mother and the father and they still cheat.
Yeah.
So that's why I said it's a selfish thing. It becomes a thing of that you just become where you just think that, oh, this is too hard, and that's what I was talking about. Marriage and work are intertwined because it's hard.
Yeah.
Is nothing like you got. I was listening to something and they made a very good point. They said that when if you put the two together, God takes you through hard things.
Mm-hmm.
But when you think about it, when God takes you through the hard things, you know that at the end of that hard thing, there's something beautiful going to happen.
Yes.
We don't consider that in marriage.
Mm.
We go through hard things, and because we are such an instant society,
Mm-hmm.
we want gratification now. That's
Mm-hmm.
why we go to pornography,
Yeah.
because it's instant gratification.
Mm-hmm.
That's why, and you know this for a fact. When you and I, I'm gonna go back real quick because you try to cut me off. You are like an onion. I have to peel you
Have to peel me
layer
back,
layer by
layer by
layer,
layer.
and I'm gonna get to that in a minute. But back on the next subject, where we were just saying, when you working on something and you want it to work really well, when you work hard at something, you get better satisfaction after you see the beauty in it than when you're just given something.
Mm.
And if I come to you and I say, "Hey, I want sex now," and you say, "Okay," and you give me sex, that doesn't mean that we're both satisfied.
Yeah. It
But
just
if I
mean
have to
that the
work,
person.
if
It
I
just
have to,
mean that the person that's given that you having the sex with is just trying to make the other person happy.
yeah, and that doesn't work.
Yeah.
So we've had this conversation. There's been plenty of times where like because you go to sleep early, 9 o'clock, you shut down, right? And
Yeah. Surprisingly,
you
I'm
know
up
what?
now.
But this is the funny thing. I was thinking of something. We talked about scheduling sex,
Mm.
right?
Yeah.
And I used to say no, but I thought about this, and I was, like I said, listening to a couple of things. I said, you know what? That actually is not a bad idea
To schedule it.
to schedule, and it's not really scheduling because it's about how you feel. So, like for me, as a husband, you're home with the kids, you're working hard. I get home and I see you, and I'm like, oh, I want my wife, and you're like, I'm just too tired. Hit me up in the morning.
Right.
Get me in the morning.
In the
That's
AM. In the
that. Give
AM.
me the AM. That's when you get it. That's when you can get some. And I'm like, all right, and that's scheduling. But hey, it's you're telling me that if we do it now at night, I'm not gonna give my all. I'm not gonna be
I'm
satisfied.
not gonna be into
I'm
it.
just
Yeah.
gonna lay here and be thinking about, okay, get off me, dude. I want to go to sleep.
Right. Just being like, okay.
Okay, like you done already? Oh,
Like,
okay,
get up
yeah,
off me. Like,
I'm done. Oh,
geez.
that was so great. Okay, get off of me now.
And I actually push you off. You're like, okay,
Yeah, like that's what I'm saying. So I realized that. So I'm like, I have is you got to listen to your spouse. You got to
yeah.
listen to your husband, to your wife when she's telling you stuff like this. And
Yeah.
I would say for women, you need to make sure you have come and told me. You need to, don't be afraid to say, we need, and make it a conversation of
Do
couple.
men be like that?
Well, men have a very fragile ego.
I
They
yeah.
say most men don't want to cry. I cry in front of people. I don't care.
Yeah.
I get, I'll show emotions in front of people because I've learned that. I'm 48 now, so I've learned that. But in the past, no, I wouldn't have been like that.
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, like, why? I don't care. I just take it.
Yeah.
I want it. I'm gonna take it. It's like caveman mentality. I want it. I'm gonna get it.
Yeah.
And I didn't care if you just laid there. But I
But
still got mine.
but the question is, do do men just lay there? I'm just thinking it because we think about it on the woman perspective. But do
No, because
men
men.
go through
No,
a
because
men always thinking about
men
sex
are always thinking about
24/7?
sex
Like,
24/8.
what do you
Yes,
guys not think about besides sex?
sex
Get more sex.
and more sex. I did.
Oh
I
my
know I
god.
do. To this day, I still do.
Have you ever talked to other men about do they think like
No,
that?
this the funny thing. I don't have many male friends. I don't really have many friends, even
But
women.
I'm saying if you was to just talk to a random man or just talk
I
to
don't know.
someone,
I've never really had that. I've
I think
never
we
had
should
that.
do that.
I need to broaden my horizon and start talking to more men.
You do.
Yeah, I do. I know I don't. I
You
just
do.
don't. I just don't. I don't know why I don't have
Cause
that
I meet
camaraderie.
women and we used to have conversations and it kick off and we be talking about personal things and we talk about it like whatever.
Well, see, the problem is that men don't like to talk,
Not about personal stuff.
right? And I think I actually scare men because I'm very much now in this time of my life. I'm very much a talker,
Mm.
and I would just say things that they look at. I've seen them look at me like, "What is he talking about?"
like this,
Like,
like
okay,
this dude really
I
asked me
need
that.
like, yeah, I need to get
Like
away from this
really?
dude. This dude is crazy.
Wow.
Right. Yeah, I can see it in their eyes. So, because men now they don't want to talk about that. They don't want to bring that up. That's taboo. There's like, oh, don't, oh no, 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 no,
And
we're not.
I think you
Especially in the
should.
church, man. In the church, oh, forget about it. It's not happening.
Right.
It's not happening, and the church is not going to talk about it either.
Wow.
The church is not going to explain how work and marriage go together.
Mm.
You
So
know,
would
we
you say marriage change us?
in what sense?
Did marriage change us to be, you know, like once we got married, how did it change us? How did marriage change us once we got married? People
It
say
made us.
it ain't about the paper. Oh,
It made
married
us.
paper get changed, but
It made us have to learn to learn each other. I
yeah.
had to learn you.
Hmm.
Marriage changed me in the fact that I had to realize that this is a. It took me 3 tries, but I realized that I made a commitment to you. I
Right.
have to make this work.
Hmm.
I have to make this work. No matter what we're going through, I have to make this work.
Marriage changed me because it wasn't just me. That's what I'm saying. It
I know
wasn't
what you're
just
saying.
right. I had to think about you and your
But that's what
feelings.
I just said.
Right.
I said
Well,
it in a
in a
different
different
way.
way. Yeah. So
I
but
just say, why
but
you
the
act like
but the change for me, I had to start considering your feelings when I do something or, consulting you on different things or decisions. So it's a lot of things took place, that I would say changed me because now I'm like, before I do something, I'm definitely gonna think about you or ask you what you think or something like that. I
Mhm.
wasn't in self mode. Some people still be in self mode even though
and that's
they
why
married.
pornography is bad because you're in self mode because the only person you're satisfying
Is
is
yourself.
yourself. You're not satisfying nobody else,
Mm.
and you're only going through that phase of I'm going to satisfy myself.
And some people,
Now,
even though they have sex with their husband
I
and
don't think I
wife,
ever told you
they'll
this.
they'll have sex, but then they'll still go back to the pornography because it's something that the pornography is giving
I'm
them.
about to get. Well, listen, I'm about to say. So I'm going to admit something. I don't think I ever told you, so I'm gonna admit this. So in the beginning of our marriage and stuff like that, when you was on your women,
My
thing,
womanhood.
or womanhood, and I wanted sex, I would self gratify myself.
Mm. Wow,
But
that's real news.
but the thing is about it is that I realized after a while that it was affecting our marriage
It was.
because when I was previously married, I would go to strip clubs, I would go to, you know, things like that.
Right.
And I've actually in a previous relationship went to a strip club, came home and doing relations, and then called the name of the stripper.
Mm. Mm.
Yeah, that totally was a buzzkill. Like,
Wow. So that kind of make me think like in some marriages, if they having relations or intimacy times in their marriage, do they think about other people while they having sex?
yes, because that's what I'm saying. So you get that thought in your head watching
Not just
pornography.
pornography,
No, I'm
but
just saying
period. Like
strippers, pornography, doing anything that's like that will make your mind not focus on your spouse at that time. Yeah, you're sitting there, you like, ooh,
not just
like
pornography though,
no,
just
I'm saying that's what I'm
right.
saying to you. Like, yeah, because then you be like, ooh, like I saw that fine girl today. Oh, now you're having a relationship with the girl that you saw earlier, but you're not, and you're with your wife.
Oh, right. Yeah. Oh,
You
your
understand what I'm
husband.
saying? Or with your husband, you're
Oh,
like,
I saw that
oh, I
fine
saw that
man,
fine man. I
and
was
he
like,
was
he's
luscious.
luscious, like tasty, tasty. And now you realize, oh my goodness, I'm thinking of him. So yeah, you will start, and that's where it messes you up, because then you start thinking about that, and you're not really even enjoying what you're doing, and then that's where you're not enjoying the sex between your spouse that you should be enjoying.
Right.
Now,
Wow.
while I was talking about the layers with you, I wanted to bring up, like, with women and even with men, because I was broken when I met you.
Yeah.
But even, but because we always think about sex, we can kind of get over that a little bit faster than women. I had to learn with you, you know, when we got together, you didn't tell me a lot of things about your life until we got married.
Yeah.
So I had to realize, like, being abused and stuff like that. I have to realize that I have to react to you differently. I can't get mad if you say no, not tonight. Because I think the tendency is men get mad when a woman says no, because to us, no means eternal. So we're like, oh, no means never, like never again. I even think I said that to you one time. Like, he was like, no. And I was like, do you mean forever? He was like, really?
Wow.
Really? And I was like, I'm serious, like, because that's the first thing we think. It's like the worst thing that a woman can say to a man is no.
Yeah.
But if as a man, you have to realize that when a woman says no, it does not mean at that moment. I mean, it does not mean forever. It means at that moment it's
Right.
no.
Right.
It's okay to say no.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay. And case in point, I don't know how many men out there, but I know me personally, as a male now, where I am now in my life and with our sex and our marriage and stuff, I don't even like quickies.
Yeah.
And you know this to be the truth,
mm.
because you sometimes be like, come on, babe. And I'm like, no. And you're like, why? I'm like, because I want us to both enjoy it.
Yeah.
I don't want just me to enjoy it, because then I'm not really going to enjoy it.
Right.
I've learned that me just getting my
Yeah.
off doesn't help me, because I
Right.
want you to enjoy it just as much as me, because it's already bad enough that women have a hard time. See, that's the other thing about pornography. Well, pornography does also do it. It construes the mind,
Right.
the men's mind, and thinking that all women are going to climax.
Mm.
Doesn't mean that,
Right.
because most women, and they have studies on this, and I think it's like 60% of women don't climax, or 60% do, but there's a very low number that climax.
Right. You talking
So,
about in just in the sense of
and
penetration.
in the sense of every time
Right.
having sex.
Right.
See, when you're looking at pornography, you start thinking every time we have sex, you're going to climax.
Right.
So when you don't climax, then you're like, what am I doing wrong?
Right. Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't work that way.
Right.
Men
Mm-hmm.
men will climax every time,
Yeah, but
but
women,
women will not.
I would say, because their body going all these different
Right,
changes.
because every day is a different day for you,
Yeah.
and that's what I mean by, so giving women the right to choose, especially, um I think 1 in 4. I've told you this before. Any woman from the 70s, 80s, even early 90s has most likely been abused. I'm not saying every single woman, but mostly all women,
Mm-hmm.
or even most men, have been abused. I'm a firm believer of that, because abuse was pushed under the rug. Oh, don't go to Uncle Harry's house, because
Right.
oh because don't make
mm-hmm.
sure when they go, somebody's with them.
Right. Don't go over to the neighbor's house.
Don't go over to the neighbor's house.
Mm-hmm.
Don't because people, they didn't want to talk about it. We talk about it now, but not then.
Yeah.
And even still now to this day, we don't really talk about it like we should.
Mm-hmm.
So I think when you get married to when a male gets married to his spouse, he has to understand that his spouse is going to have problems already. She's not going to be perfect, and so he has to understand that he needs to learn his wife's body,
Mm.
and
And the
that's
woman
why,
too.
and the woman too, and that's why I said I know when you faking it.
Yeah.
I know when you're faking it, because I could just tell.
Mm.
I can tell when you have to go to the bathroom,
Yeah.
because you learn your wife's body.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
That's
learn your wife's
important. That's
body.
important.
You
You know
learn
me.
because you learn your wife's body.
Mm-hmm.
The thing about, I may know you, but I'm still learning you.
Yeah. Well, we learning each other every
And
day.
the other thing which
Still.
we learned from a long time ago in our marriage, is if it's working, stick with it.
Yeah.
Don't go off the rails and start doing all kind of, upside down and, to the left, to the right, all that stuff, because we have learned that that would totally destroy your sex life.
Yeah.
Because we're like, oh, let's try something different. We try and we're like, oh, that was horrible. That
Right.
was
Right.
absolutely pathetic. Like, what was that?
Mm-hmm.
And then we won't be intimate with each other for a couple of days or even a couple of weeks because we're so disgusted with what just happened. It's
Right.
happened to us,
Yeah.
So like we learned, no, if it's working, keep it working, keep it
Yeah.
simple. That's what I'll
Simple.
say, keep it
Yeah.
simple.
Yeah.
You don't gotta, and every man is different.
Mm-hmm.
Every man is different. Not every man wants lingerie.
Right.
That's the other classic. Oh, you gotta have lingerie. I don't believe in that.
Mm.
Being real and raw, I don't believe in that.
Yeah,
I tell
believe.
you that all the time. I don't believe in that because I think it's a waste of time. I'm gonna pay $100 or £100 for a piece of clothing to put on you that I'm about to rip off in like 5 minutes.
Well, some people like that type of thing.
I think it's a waste of time.
It's to
It's a
each
waste
their
of time.
own.
Yeah.
Do what you feel is best
Go
that work for
natural.
you.
Go natural. The body is a beautiful thing. The body is the most beautiful thing in the world.
Mm.
Go natural.
Mm. Yeah.
Another thing too for men is to understand that when you're with a woman, she's going to go through changes. So like what I was talking about before with you being abused, I had to understand and realize that if I do certain things, just like when I was being abusive towards you,
Right.
when I reacted a certain way for years after that, even though we was healing and we was getting better, there were still times where if we got into an argument, if I raised my voice, if I even moved my hand a certain way,
Mm-hmm.
I could see the look in your face of, oh, he's going back to his old ways.
Yeah.
And so I
Wow.
know for a fact that when you know that your wife has been through a traumatic experience
Yeah.
and then you say, I want it now, you're now making her feel like I don't even have control of, I'm in a marriage, but I don't even have control of my body now.
Right.
So I've
Wow.
lost the control that I had when I was abused, and now I'm losing the control with my own husband who's supposed to love me, protect me, take care of me,
Right.
be there for me.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, wait a minute, I need to change up and understand that, my wife may be just having a bad day that day.
Yeah.
Maybe she's not, feeling it today just because I'm feeling it. Maybe you don't feel good because you don't like the way you look.
Wow.
Maybe you don't like the way,
Maybe
you
we
don't
having
like
that
your body.
moment.
You just having
Wow.
that moment of I don't like my body.
Yeah.
I'm depressed. I don't like my body. And I'm like, I love your body. You're like, well, I don't know why you love my body. I don't love my body. So why do you love it? So why would you want,
I done went through that before.
Oh,
Oh
you
my
you definitely been
gosh.
through that before. And I'm like, okay, that's cool. You know what? When you feel like it, then then hit me up. Let me know.
Yeah.
You
Wow.
know.
It's amazing the things that we go through in our lives that can really affect us later on. Like,
hmm
wow.
And that's why when you get married, that's why there's work.
Yeah.
That's why there's work in what you're doing.
Yeah.
Because when you if you don't want to work at it, it's not going to work.
Wow.
You know.
Wow. That's amazing.
So I think you asked in the beginning, like I said. So I guess when we got married, I just expected us to. If I really expected us anything, I would have. I Because I was married before, I knew that the sex was not going to last.
Yeah.
So when it dried up for a little while, especially with everything that was going on in our life, I was able to deal with it differently than I would have in the past.
Right.
And I think that's part of what also kept me grounded and staying faithful and being just with you.
Right.
Because I knew that it was just a phase, it was just a time or phase that we was going through.
Mm-hmm.
And as a man, I realized that I had to understand that. I think as men, we have to be vulnerable. We have to understand that we're not going to get it all the time. It's
Mm-hmm.
not you are my wife. You're not my property.
Wow.
You're not like you're not my just anytime I want it, I'm just going to take it.
And it go for women too.
No, yeah, it goes for women too. That's true because some women abuse men.
Yeah, it's
And
possible.
women,
It's
they
possible it
they
can
want it
happen.
all the time, and so
Yeah.
that's why they go off and cheat too, because they say, oh well, he can only do it once a week. I remember I saw an article, lady got mad because the husband wanted it twice a week, and she's like, I don't want to get, I don't even want to, no, once a week or twice a week, and she was like, I don't even want to give it to him. I'm like, so why? Like that's kind of, to me, maybe, you know what, and thinking about it, maybe she was having some traumatic experience that she was going through, and that's why she was feeling that way.
Maybe, but with that, as husband and wife, you have to talk about those things. You know what I'm saying? So the person can kind of know what you're feeling, what you're
Right.
going through, because most men, if you don't tell them, they won't know.
Exactly. And that's what I was saying. That's what I loved about you, is that you sat me down and you talked to me. You said, this is what I'm going through.
Yeah.
This is what I'm feeling.
Mm.
This is what is happening. The sad part is when I was telling you what I was going through, you didn't listen. You still thought I was cheating.
You,
Classic woman. It's a way.
I was
I'm gonna
out.
say this.
I was in
Women
stealth
do this all
mode.
the
I was
time.
in
Women,
stealth
please.
mode.
Women, please. Let me just say this
Not
real
saying it
quick.
was
I'm
right.
going off for a minute. I just need a little quick rant for women. Please, when you talk to your husband, you talk all your things and everything that's going on in your life. You expect us to sit and listen. So when a man sits down and he's
Excuse
willing to
me.
actually talk and think, please listen to your husband.
I agree with that.
Please listen to your
I'm listening
husband.
to you
I
now.
ain't say you didn't. I'm
Okay.
saying, please listen to your husband. I'm talking to the people now that are listening. I'm saying, do that, because it's unfair that you get to tell us all your fears and everything that's going on. And see, that's part of the problem why men don't talk,
Yeah.
because men feel. I saw something on TikTok the other day, and a woman came on and she said, "Who would you call if you needed help?" And every man that came on the thing
Don't
said,
tell me he said his mother.
"No." Every woman that came on said, "I wouldn't call anybody,"
Why?
because they said nobody cares. They don't care how I feel. They don't care what I'm going through. They don't care what's happening in my life. In society, the man is supposed to be the masculine, rough, tough provider. He's not supposed to have any emotion. He's not supposed to have any feelings. He's not supposed to be um, eviscerated in any way. He's not supposed to be like, well, not, I'm gonna be this way. I'm not gonna show my feelings.
Mm-hmm.
He's supposed to be always rock solid, and that is the wrong thing, because you can't function like that,
No.
because at some point you are going to break down, you're going to get depressed, and that's why there's a lot of suicides in young men and even older men. There's a lot of suicides in men, more than people like to talk about, but there's a lot of
Yeah.
suicides in men because they're under a lot of stress, and instead of going to their wife and talking, they rather try to deal with it themselves, or even go to God and talk. They try to talk about it with themselves, and next thing you know, now they're harming themselves. And so that's what I was saying. When a man comes and he's willing to talk to you, women, please listen.
Yeah.
Take time out. Put down your phone. Get off the TV. Stop talking to your girlfriends. Do whatever you're doing, whatever you're eating, or anything,
Put the
and
kids down for a
put the
minute.
kids down for a minute. Even if you tell them leave the room and listen to your man,
Mm.
because that could save your marriage. That could
Yeah.
help you to
Or save
understand.
him.
And that goes the same thing for men. When a woman come and talk to you, don't stop what you're doing and listen.
Yeah.
you know, Even
Mm.
when they come at the wrong time, which the one I won't say no names does all the time to me. She wants
I
when she has time
I'm
to
gonna have to
talk.
schedule
When
in a time to
yeah,
speak to
exactly.
you.
You have to schedule a
What day?
time. Yeah,
What
okay.
time?
I'll be
What?
available at Tuesday at 7 p.m. from 7 to 7:15, and
Mm.
then I need to take a break because I got to watch a show, and then you can come back at 7:45 and we
That's
can finish the
messed up. So the
conversation.
show more important than our
Oh, you sure
conversation?
know it is, right, girl? You know that's true. I love MASH. I gotta watch MASH.
That you done watched a zillion times
I watched
already.
all the MASH episodes, but I gotta watch it again.
Man.
That's
Man.
right.
Man.
That's right. On True TV, I think it's True TV or something. So I gotta watch my MASH, baby.
Yeah.
I don't got time to talk to you.
Wow. Wow. I just had a question. It's been in my mind. I've been wanting to ask since we've done the show. So do foreplay play a big part in marriage? You would
Well,
say?
because that's what I was saying about work. You
Yeah.
have to work for the sex.
Yeah.
You do. You got to work for it. You can't just be like, okay, lay down, open your legs, and let's go. You can't do that. I'm sorry. Look,
Lord,
we're
let's try to
being.
keep this clean
Listen,
as
I
possible.
said I'm
Clean,
gonna be
clean.
real and raw.
CLEA.
Listen, clean. What? We're being real and raw.
I know
What?
we are. I'm just
I'm
saying.
just saying. I
Oh
can't.
my
I'm not gonna hold my
gosh.
tongue. I'm sorry, folks. I'm not gonna hold my tongue. You got to understand. This is very important. So it's no time to be,
I'm
like,
talking about
oh,
foreplay before you get to the other part. Is that do that play a big part?
I said yes.
Yo, you said
Yeah,
yes. You say
you
yes.
gotta
Yes.
have foreplay. You gotta have you.
Mm,
That's how you learn the body of your spouse.
yeah.
You really don't learn nothing when you're having
Some
sex.
women and some men don't like do
I
foreplay.
know, but just the thing though, you're not really learning anything when you're having sex. You learn with the foreplay. You learn that if you caress a certain way, she's gonna react.
Right.
If you kiss her in a certain spot,
Mm,
she's going to be excited
right.
because the foreplay brings out the sexual experience.
Yeah.
Then you like, oh, okay, I really want him. Or
Right.
you like, oh, like he's got me feeling really good.
Right.
Now I want him even more,
Mhm.
or I
Mhm.
want her even more.
Right.
You understand? And then you're
Mhm.
like, oh, even for the males, like, okay, yeah, like, all right, cool, I'm
Right.
ready, let's go.
Right. Mhm.
And then I was gonna say something, but like you said,
Don't
gotta
say.
keep it clear.
Look, we trying to keep this PG. You know what I'm saying? We already kind of crossed the line. But
I didn't
okay.
cross no line.
Okay. Okay. Fine. Whatever.
I crossed the line because I said just lay on your back and open your legs. That's not crossing a
Okay.
line. Yeah, I
Fine.
said it
It's
again
like,
because I know what
oh
you're
my
talking
gosh, why you have
about.
to say
I
again?
had to because I know what you're trying to
Oh
do.
my gosh. Okay. So.
Come on. I mean, listen.
Oh
All
my
I'm
god.
saying is, guys and girls, but mostly guys. I'm talking for the guys now. I'm just saying that you got to be willing to work
Yeah, it
for
take a lot of
for
work.
the
It take a
sex.
lot of work. Yeah,
You
work
can't
for it.
just expect to just get it every day and get it every time. It
Mm,
doesn't work that way. You have to understand that there's a process,
there is a
and that your
process.
wife is your spouse, and yes, she is, I won't say obligated, but she is in tune to give it to you. But every now and then she's not gonna have that need. She's not gonna feel that need, you
Yeah,
know. And we
I, I
definitely.
I I do believe a woman can go longer without. You know what I'm
Oh
saying?
yeah, a woman
A
can
woman
go.
can definitely go longer, but a man like,
A
wait a
woman,
minute,
a woman
it's
could
been
go
a.
years, man. Sure, women can. See again, you. Oh man, I can't even say a
You know,
woman.
you know.
A woman can go like. It'd be like the Sahara Desert up in there. I'm sorry. I just like, woo, boy. You like what? Like, I haven't seen a man in like 5 years. Woo.
Like,
Mm-mm-mm.
no, I'm
Yeah,
about to say
woman.
something,
But
bruh,
a man is like, I gotta stick it in something.
bruh. No,
What?
wait a minute. Oh my gosh. Oh
What
my
is the truth? A
gosh.
man's like, oh, I gotta release. That's they talk about the blue things and stuff,
Oh
but
my goodness, I'm
you
hot.
know.
I'm hot. This is too much.
Hey, I'm sorry. I'm being honest.
Oh my goodness.
Sure. I'm sorry, folks. I apologize ahead of time or after time, but
Now
I'm
you
just
know
trying to
he ain't
keep it.
sorry.
No, I'm not. I just want to keep it real because I'm saying, like, you know what? We got to stop this taboo. We got to talk real.
We do.
If we
We
don't
do. We
talk
got
real,
to be
we'll
open
never.
about things
Yeah, if we
like
don't talk
this.
real, we're never gonna get nothing solved. We're gonna
We
be going
won't.
through the same circle
Over
every
and over
time,
again.
over and over, same circle, same
Mm-hmm.
circle, same circle. Oh, we're doing it again. Okay, let's do it
Yeah.
again. We're talking. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh, but we're not fixing the problem.
Yeah.
Let's fix the problem.
But what would you suggest? What would you suggest married people that don't know how to deal with their sexual things that may not be happening or whatever to go to counseling? Would you that
Yeah.
can work for
Well, we
some
always
people?
we always say to have counseling, but
Hmm. I would
number
say go
one,
to
sit
someone that
down.
specializes in
Well, first, wait.
marriage
First, sit
relationships
down. First, sit down and talk
to each other
to each
first.
other first,
Yeah,
and see if that fixes the problem.
yeah,
And the woman, don't blame each other.
yeah. Oh well, if you did this,
Exactly. If you did this,
then
I wouldn't do
this
that.
wouldn't even be
And if
like
I
this.
did this, then you would do that. No,
Yeah,
it's we. need to work.
It's no I in
We
marriage.
need.
Well, it's an I in there, but I'm just
I'm
saying
about to say it is.
specifically. I'm talking. No, it's with God. You're one. Anyway, not specifically the word.
There
Moving
is an
on.
I though, folks. Right? Anyway,
Eh,
like I said, sit down and talk to each other first, and see if you can work and you can get to the bottom of the situation
yeah.
with communication. That's
Mm-hmm.
key to anything. Communicate. Women, don't be afraid to sit down with your husband and
And be
say,
like,
"This
look, I
is
don't like it this way.
the
Do it this way. Fix it
exactly,
this way, and your
exactly."
husband do the same thing. That way, they know that you like it a certain way.
And that's what I talk about. Keep it simple. If you come
Yeah.
to an agreement, or if you like, if a man is with his wife and he sees that she's being pleased, you keep it up because you're like, well, you know what? I'm pleasing her. And then shoot, ask afterwards. Was that right? Was that good? I mean, did I really please you? And then be honest, women, and say yes or no.
Boom.
Say yes or no. Say yes,
Yeah.
I did. I did enjoy that. I like
And
that.
if you don't be like, no, you next time, let me show you something.
Yeah.
Next time,
Next
show
time,
them.
next time, your fingernail hurt me.
Yeah, cut the nail. What the heck? What's wrong with you?
What? I'm being
You
real.
something
Hey,
is. Oh
what? I'm
my
sorry.
god.
What? I mean, what you saying? I'm trying to be honest here.
Oh,
I'm talking about the general man. I'm not. You acting like I'm
oh.
saying for me.
I'm
not
not.
saying
I'm
for
not.
me.
I'm
I'm
not.
saying for.
I didn't say it was for you.
I'm just saying because you're like, what's wrong with me? I'm saying I'm being honest. Shoot.
I guess I just expect for you to say that,
Say what?
but I can't. You
I'll
gonna
say it
tell them
again.
what
No,
you
I
gonna
won't say it
say?
again. Okay, I won't say it again. But anyway, like I said, be real, guys. Just and guys, let your ego leave your ego at the door. Don't let your ego get the best of you. Don't let the
Right.
fact
Mm-hmm.
don't let the fact that your wife says no mean to you that that's the end of everything. It's
Right.
not.
And guys, if you need a guy to talk to, Pedro will talk to you.
Yeah, you can contact us at thegoddessministry@gmail.com. Hit me up.
Yeah,
That's the
and
goddess
that's for real
ministry
on
at
the real,
gmail.com.
for real, for real.
Heck, I even put my number out there. My number is 447719386209.
With a plus in the front for y'all American people.
Yes, with a plus in front if you're in America. And if you're in the UK, it's 07719386209. I'm being for real. If you
But yeah,
need to talk,
he for real, for real.
if you need to talk, you can hit me up and talk.
Yeah, and it's
I'm okay.
confidential.
It's confidential. I will not
We ain't no
talk. I don't.
professionals or nothing, but
No, we're not
we talking
professionals,
about
but
life
I could
experience.
just give you my life experiences and what I went through.
Yeah, man.
I'm 48. I've been through a lot as an adult, been through a lot as a child,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't mind talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it, as you can see. I'm not gonna sit there and try to put cake and icing and everything else over it. Nope.
Make
I'm
it
just
look
gonna
cute.
no new.
No,
I'm gonna come at it real ugly.
Yeah, but
Real
yeah, it's
ugly.
important that you guys talk about those things. Don't sit up there unhappy because you don't want to talk.
Yeah. Exactly.
And you all in your feelings or
Yeah,
whatever.
exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Because your feelings ain't gonna get you nowhere. Like I said before,
Yeah,
you after the fact, you still got the problem.
yeah.
So the
Basically,
best thing to do is to sit and talk. Now, if
we ain't
then
been married 17
once
years for that.
now if you sit down and you talk and it don't work, then you want to make your marriage work. Then you do get some help. You go talk to a
Yeah.
psychologist. You go talk to a psychiatrist. You go talk to
Mm-hmm.
whoever you need. You go talk to your pastor. You go talk to an elder. You go talk to a friend, somebody that
But
is
talk to
neutral.
somebody that you can
If you talk
trust.
to a friend, talk to
'Cause not
somebody that
everybody you
is
can talk
neutral.
to.
Right?
Forget that.
That's why I said that. Talk to a neutral friend, a friend that's not going to judge either one of you for what the problems you are having.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's
But you know what? Forget
that's
that.
a we
Talk to.
learned. No, because we was blessed to have friends that we can go and talk to
That's true.
that did not judge us for
Mm-hmm.
us, and they did not, even when we told them all the things that was going in our life,
Mm-hmm.
they did not judge us
They
for
didn't.
who we were as
Yeah.
individuals. They would say, look, you was wrong, but this what you can do. They saw the good. Talk to somebody that sees the good in you.
Yeah.
That's what I would say. Talk to somebody that sees the good in you.
Mm-hmm. See, I always saw the good in you. That's why I've been with you
I've always saw the good in you,
all
even when
this
you
time.
irritate the heck out of me and I want to just, throw you off a cliff.
Really, that's kind of been messed up.
It'll be one of those big,
Trying to
inflatable,
throw me off a
yeah,
cliff? What
like
the
in Lethal
heck?
Weapon when he jumps off the roof
That's
and he
like
lands in the thing.
suicide. So what is wrong
No,
with you?
no, wait. See, you're not letting me finish my statement.
Okay.
You remember like in Lethal Weapon when Mel Gibson jumps off the roof with the suicide, the guy that wants to commit suicide,
Yep.
and they jump off the roof and they
Mhm.
land into that big thing, but you
Mhm.
don't realize that till they land into it.
Mhm.
I'll put one of those at the bottom,
No, man.
but it's just the joy of like.
You just throw me off no cliff, man. You crazy. He cray
So
cray.
yeah, I am a little crazy. You know that already anyway. So here's a question for you, real quick.
Mm,
How have you gotten better with your mindset on sex?
yes. I think I could still do a little bit better though, I would say.
Yeah,
But
because you still every now and then go into a show.
yeah, I think sometimes I do. I think
Sometimes,
okay, well, it's all the time?
not all the time.
Oh, okay. I'm just trying to say. But no, I think sometimes I do. I think sometimes when I let myself relax, I think for intimacy to happen for I would say man or woman, your mind have to be ready for intimacy. You can't go into intimacy with stuff on your mind,
True.
thinking about everything, or just just everyday life or things that's going on in your head. You have when it's time for you to become intimate with your partner, you need to have all that kind of cut off at the moment. You know what I'm saying? So you could just think about your husband and how much you love him or how much you love her. Just turn off everything in your mind. And sometimes you can have so much things going in your mind you can't enjoy sex,
Yeah, that's what.
especially for a
So,
woman.
mhm.
And I'm sure it's like that for a man as well. But I'm just saying when a
Not
woman,
really.
well, okay, fine. If a woman is going through a lot and she got a lot on her mind and she's thinking about everything, what need to be done, or we need to get this, or you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
You can't enjoy sex when you got all of that going
I
on.
was gonna say something, but I'm trying not hard to say it, but it's right at the tip of my tongue, but I'm not gonna say it. Oh Lord, please be with me.
What you gonna say?
A man, just like watching pornography
Mm-hmm.
and instant gratification.
Mm-hmm.
It don't take long for us to, gratify ourselves. That's all I'm gonna say.
Okay, so
So as a male, that won't that it, we can have the weight of the world on our shoulders, but a couple of pumps and we're like we're done. Sorry.
that's kind of messed up. A
I'm
couple of
being
pumps.
I'm being honest.
Oh my
I'm being it's like what
god!
it is. I'm being
But
honest.
as for us women, that may be a
That's
bit long stretched. You know what I'm saying?
that's wait. You know what though?
We,
But listen, that's another thing.
we
That
be
no
going
no
through.
no. Listen, that's another thing. Real quick too. Not real quick, but that's another thing. As men, watching pornography, it gives you this false sense of reality. So you think you're supposed to go long and
They be taking
forever.
medications and all
And
type of
no,
stuff.
but not even all of that. You just, long and forever, like, and I'm for an hour.
Hour.
I don't do it
That's a
for an
straight
hour.
lie. Don't
No,
nobody go that
I'm
long.
just saying that, but that's what the
If they do,
mindset.
then
That's what the mindset gives you. So you have that mindset. So you like,
whole
I
hour.
need to go for this amount of time. But my point is that you could just go for 5-10 minutes and have the best intimacy ever, but then go for 30 minutes and it is bad.
It's awful.
It's awful because you get to the point of the woman's just like, okay, hurry up, I'm ready, get off of me.
Like really?
Like, yeah, like, dude, like, all right, let's, stop. Like,
Like you
I'm
doing too
done. Like,
much.
yeah, right. I'm good. I'm good. Like, okay, you know what? We'll come back later to this. Like,
Yeah, we revisit.
yeah, we revisit. That's what I'm saying.
My
Like,
goodness.
you
But
don't.
seriously, but as for a woman thing, we really have to be where we have to.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. A man, no, he can have the weight of the world on his shoulders, but because when we have two different,
Y'all know how
we
to
have
turn it off,
no, we have two different because we have two different
right?
views. We have two different brains, and that
Right.
brain
So
that
right.
that brain does
Okay.
not work with the other brain.
Though yeah, it's messed up.
It doesn't. I'm
Yeah.
being honest. It
That's
don't
true.
work with the
That's
brain. That
true.
brain don't work with the other brain. That
Yeah.
brain is like, I want it. Let's go.
Yeah.
That brain. That's why we constantly think of sex 24/7
Wow.
because we're not thinking with the brain. we're thinking with the brain,
Oh, with the brain.
the brain. So
Yeah.
it's like, ooh, okay, yeah, and then they're like, oh, okay, good, I'm good.
Right. Because, some women be like, I don't want to, I don't know. It's just, us women got to really work on ourselves. We'll be all right.
It's not really that you have to work on yourselves. No, you just have to be honest with
Hmm.
yourself and be honest with your spouse.
Yeah.
The limits that you have is not a bad thing.
Yeah.
Is the fact that you have to be honest and say, this is what I can and I cannot do.
Hmm.
And then
Yeah.
the man has to be willing to accept those limitations and say, okay, this is what she's able to do.
And this is
That's what
what
she's
she,
not able to do.
yeah.
This is what I'm able to do, and this is what I'm able to do. And then you both, what, I'm boring you?
No, I
You
was
just
just
yawning on me
yarning.
and stuff. Goodness gracious.
Sorry.
So it's just the limitations that you have.
Yeah.
But it's okay to have limitations. It's not God made we didn't talk about this. God made sex
In marriage.
in marriage
Hmm.
to be beautiful.
Yes.
For the two folks, the man and the woman, to um enjoy each other.
Right.
That's why we touched on this, but we didn't really elaborate. That's why I think when having sex before marriage is if it could be avoided, it could be avoided is a good thing, because when you have multiple partners, you a little bit of, we talk about with our children, you give a little bit of yourself to that person,
Yeah.
and by the time you get to the person that you need to be with, there's not much left.
Mm. Wow.
You understand? And that's
Yeah.
why I had to learn, because unfortunately I have been with multiple partners before we met,
Hmm.
and I had to reteach myself and relearn myself in order to then be able to please you and make you happy.
Well.
Because in my mind it was just like, okay, and okay, we're done. And then you'll sit there and be like, I married this?
Yeah.
And that's how I know how you use the that's what you say, I don't know, but I did know.
But that's
And when I
why.
look back on it now, I'm like, yeah, that's why I could think of days where I was like, you know what, you did. And that's why I said to you, that's why I don't like quickies with us in particular, because we did that in the beginning.
Yeah. Hmm.
And if you really think about it, we did it in the beginning. You never really liked them.
Oh, right.
You seem to have forgotten that. See, I noticed that. That's how I know that I know you, because I know when they you didn't enjoy it.
Right.
You were just like, I was being a horny toad, and you was just like, okay, take it. All right, get off of me. Am I right?
Yeah.
So like now, when you get into even that rare motive, you're like, oh, and I'm like, no, and you actually get mad at me, like, why you? I'm like, I don't, because I want us to both enjoy it.
Right.
So now I hope you understand that.
I do.
I want us to both enjoy it. I don't want that self gratification just for myself. I want us
Hmm.
to both be satisfied.
Definitely.
So I'm not gonna be just like, oh, okay, Mm-mm.
Yeah.
So that's why I don't. That's why for me personally, that's not my thing.
Yeah.
Some men will. They'd be like, oh yeah, cool, yeah, let's go. Some women actually,
Some women would be
it's
that way.
yeah, because it's the to them it turns them on.
Yeah.
So like I said, I'm just talking about for us. But some women do like, because
Yeah.
but me personally, that's not my cup of tea, because I don't want that. I'm not saying it has to be a long time, but I just like,
Yeah.
as you say, foreplay,
Yeah.
because you learn your own body, and you
Yeah.
learn the body of your spouse, and you learn what they like and what they don't like.
Right.
So for me, that's how I am.
Yeah.
You had
So
another.
no, that was it.
That was it. Oh,
Yes.
okay. I'm sorry. I was ready to.
This been an awesome conversation.
Yeah, I hope I don't get in trouble.
Well, hopefully they'll listen to it before they air.
Who would listen? Oh, you talking about the radio?
Yeah.
I apologize, radio listeners.
Don't apologize.
Well, no,
You're not
I'm being,
sorry.
I'm not sorry.
He ain't sorry.
I'm
I
not,
said
like I
that.
said, guys. I'm not sorry,
But yeah, we
because
just being
I
for real.
want you to be real when we
Yeah.
talk about this. I want you to understand the severity of this, and men and women need to understand about sex, and that it's a beautiful thing when you're married. It's a wonderful thing. It's the most beautiful thing that you can.
Marriage is honorable in
Yeah,
God's eyes.
it's not. Yeah, it's right in God's eyes.
Yeah.
I will say so. Like I said, if you can avoid it, please avoid it, and try to wait till you become married. But I'm not saying that that's always going to happen, because I'm not silly to think that that's not going to happen. So I'm not saying that is you're gonna be damned or you're gonna go to hell if you have sex before marriage. I'm not going to say that, because that is not
But we can't
is
control
but
ourselves.
yeah, but you can control yourself, and you can make the decision to save yourself for your husband. Just when or your wife, when you meet somebody, just be willing. Just know that when you get married, you got to put the work in.
Yeah.
That's the main thing. You got to put the work in. God
Mhm.
does not condone us having sex before marriage.
Mhm.
But as I said before, with us, he definitely, I don't want to say that because then it's going to sound like I'm condoning it. Try your best not to, because it's the right thing to do. God will be pleased. You'll be pleased in God's eyes if you don't have sex before marriage.
But he won't be happy if you're doing something if you know it's wrong, but you do
Right.
it
Because
anyway.
God,
It's wrong too.
right. God, for us, it taught us how to work on our marriage more than
Yeah.
anything. But everybody's different. Every marriage is different. Every couple's different. So this is just something that happened for us. I'm not
Mhm.
saying that it'll happen for you,
Yeah.
but please be mindful of that, and know that God will be pleased if you're able to, and just keep it correct.
Yeah.
And when you find somebody, you get to know them. Don't do that shacking up. Don't do that. We're gonna live together,
Yeah.
because it's not going to prepare you for when you really get married.
It's not.
Because when you get married, there's so many little quirks that you may find,
Yeah.
like
You won't
um
find that even if you just shacking up because
like even in the summertime, my wife is cold,
I am.
and I'm like what the heck? Like it's like 80 degrees outside. You tell myself I'm cold. Turn off the fan. What are you talking about? I'm not turning off this fan. You better just put the fan on me.
Right. I don't know why I'm like that. I'm a cold nature
I'm like,
person.
what the heck? Like, I'm burning up over here, sweating bullets, and you talking about some, I'm freezing.
Mm,
No,
mm.
no. You better turn that heat off.
Right. It's just gonna be different things you learned about.
So you learn,
Yeah.
right, exactly. So there's gonna be quirks. So living with somebody does not teach you those quirks.
Yeah, I would say because even though you're living together and you're not physically married, it's just like you still dating. The mindset is still in dating mode. You're just living together.
Well,
But
I know certain folks that when they do counseling, if the couple comes to them, they're not, and they're living together, the first thing they say is, well, you need to unlive with each other
yeah, you
before we
can't.
even get into the counseling.
Right.
Because people think, oh, I can get to know the person better if they live with me. No, because it's not marriage. Like I said,
It's
marriage is
just
work,
different.
and when you get married, you start living with somebody. That's when you learn about that person.
Yeah.
Because even if you learn about that person before you get married, you're not. It's going to be different. It always is,
Yeah, that's
and
true.
I'm living proof of that, because this is how I lived my life.
Yeah.
We're not really living together, but we was around each other a lot. We pretty much was living together.
Yeah.
But when we got married, it was a totally different.
That's what I'm saying.
It
It's
was like the
different.
honeymoon was over.
Yeah, it
It
was
was a
different.
totally
That's what I'm
different
saying.
beast.
When you're just living with each other, you still on honeymoon stage. You see, it's like you dating still.
Because I always say
You
this:
know, because
when you're not married,
it
even
wasn't
if
nothing like
when you're not
cut
married
in stone.
and you're living together and you're not married, you get into a fight. You still go to your mama's house, your daddy's house, you go to your
Yeah,
boy's house, you go to your friend's house. But when you're married, oh nope, you can't do that.
yeah,
Just like one thing I'm proud about that we have always done in our marriage, even when we've been dragged out mad at each other, we still slept in the same bed.
yeah,
We're not even talking for a week.
yeah. We ain't talking.
We ain't talking, just good morning, good evening, good night.
Okay, hey,
Hey,
good
good,
morning.
exactly, yep.
In your
But
mood.
we still slept in the same. There's only one time when I had the accident that I slept on the couch
Yeah, you said
for
that
3 months,
before.
but that's because I couldn't. lay down.
Right.
But otherwise, we've always slept. If we was in the house, we've always slept in the
same. Yeah.
same bed.
Yeah, we said in our other
I
podcast.
know, but I'm just saying it again. Unless I fall asleep on the couch, which I do sometimes, because
Yeah.
that couch just engulfs me and like you're mine. But anyway, but so that's why living together does not solve anything, because once you get married, that's when you will really learn the person.
Yeah. It's just a different.
It's a totally different
It's
beast. It's a
just
totally
different.
different thing.
Because even when you're living together, right, and and you like in dating mode, you're not forsaking all others. You get what I'm saying? You're not. You still putting people in your business. You still telling people this. You still telling people that. And some people do it and they marry, but
I don't know. I think some people that are dating and they're living together don't always do all of that. I think they kind of can be private, but it's just
it
it's not
depends.
it's I know, but I'm just saying it's not. It's just that I think that men that it's just different. I can't. It's so hard to explain because there's really no like scientific fact or like no data to prove this. But just from my experience, I can tell you for a fact that once you're married, you're dating and live with the person, and then you get married, it's different. That's all I'm gonna say. It is different. It's always different.
Just because you didn't
So
said your vows, you know what I'm saying? You done made a
it's
commitment to that
I
person.
no I don't.
Just because you're
It's
living
just
together don't
different.
mean you committed.
I know that, Tal, but I don't even know if, because then people get married and then they hit a rough spot and then they're like, oh, I'm done. So
Yeah, they out the door.
right, they're out the door. So that's what I mean by when you get married, be willing to put in the work. That's
Yeah.
it, plain and simple. Be
Good or
willing to
bad.
put in the work, good and bad.
And be willing
Just
to
like it
stay.
says,
Unless somebody's trying to get somebody hurt you or something that's different. But
right. I mean, of course, there's
well,
situations
yeah.
where you do have to remove yourself from the situation.
Yeah.
I'm not saying, but it's everything is different. Sometimes, if the other spouse or the other person can recognize their faults and they get better, then you can stay with the person, then thing. But if they're gonna put you in the hospital, then no.
Yeah.
You understand?
Be
Like
out.
you have to take care of yourself, because your health is more important than anything else.
Yeah.
But
That's man or
again, like
female.
male or female, but like I said, it's work. Just put in the work. If you're willing to put in the work and understand that at the end of the work it's gonna be something beautiful, then guess what?
It's worth it.
It's worth it.
Yeah.
And your marriage will be great
Yeah.
and
And right.
wonderful and God blessed.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
So we want to thank everybody for joining us today.
Thank you so much. Today or today?
Today
Oh, it's not what you said today.
on
But
the God is Real and Raw podcast. We are real and raw. We gotten away from being real and raw. I'm sorry, it gotta be real and raw, baby.
Just the God is Really Raw podcast.
That's right. That's right.
So silly.
We want to thank you all for joining us.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you for watching.
Mm-hmm.
And could you put up the?
Yes, I will. But yeah, guys, I really enjoyed this conversation today. And if you guys have enjoyed the conversation, please comment below. We want to know what your thoughts are. Email us if you have any questions or something like that. We will love to hear from you and to answer any questions that you may have that we may can probably help you with. I don't know. We're not professionals, but hey, we have lived our lives and God has given us life experiences that we can probably share with someone else. And yeah, so if you want to contact us, so you can contact us at the Goddess Ministry at gmail.com. The Goddess Ministry at gmail.com. Guys, y'all hit us up. Married people that's going into marriage, anything like that, hit us up, guys. 17 years in, and God has brought us a long way.
I gotta make sure I check the spam, because I never think to check the spam.
Oh yeah, we gotta check the spam. We may have some questions up in there.
Yeah, I gotta check the spam.
Yeah, guys.
And also because
wait a minute, don't forget, subscribe to our channel. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, guys, and
the Goddess Ministry,
the Goddess Real and Raw podcast.
Subscribe. Oh, it's the Goddess Real and Raw podcast.
Yes, it is.
Oh, I'm sorry.
The Goddess Real and Raw podcast on YouTube. Subscribe, hit the bell, so you will be notified each time we go live or post a video.
What's it on Facebook?
And on Facebook, it's the Goddess Real and Raw podcast. On Twitter, it's the Goddess Real and Raw podcast. On Instagram, it's the Goddess Real and Raw podcast.
So in other words, it's the Goddess Real and Raw podcast.
So if you go to, our information part, it'll take you to all, especially on YouTube, it will take you to all of our different links, our Facebook, our link tree, All of that is there in the about on Instagram, and we are on
Well,
Facebook.
babe, why don't you just say the link will be at the bottom of this page?
All right, so the link was gonna be on
You
the
go
bottom
on
of
it.
this
You
page,
just
but
always gotta
I
you
didn't,
gotta beat
I
around
didn't.
the bush. Just go straight through the bush. I always
No, no,
tell you,
no, I
don't beat
didn't.
around the bush. Go
I
straight through the
didn't.
bush.
I didn't do. I'm doing this for the people that listen on the radio, guys. So hey, so y'all do that, please. Y'all go to the YouTube and y'all subscribe and follow us on Facebook as well, so you won't miss a show. That
Yes.
yeah.
Or you can go back and watch some of the other shows that
Yeah,
we have done.
replays are the bomb. I love replays.
Yeah, you do
So you
too
guys
much.
go on and replay this. Yep. We trying to get our count up on YouTube. So guys, y'all come on in, subscribe, and yeah, let's be a family.
All
Um,
right. If you would like to, if you feel impressed, you can please donate to our ministry.
that's right.
We have a
That's
couple of
right.
things that we're trying to do. Tara has
Mhm.
something coming up
Mhm.
that she's trying to do. She's trying to do a new program in the Christmas time, New Year.
Mhm.
And of course, it takes money to do that. So we're
Um,
hoping
blah, blah,
that,
blah, blah.
yeah. So we just want to get that up, and it's going to be a wonderful thing. It's going to be a not an expose. It's going to be a interview kind of thing,
Yeah.
right? But it's going to be a good thing, and it's going to be really, really nice and tight and on fire. So we really want to get that rolling. But you can donate to us at PayPal, which is at Goddess Ministry. So
Mhm.
PayPal is at Goddess Ministry.
That's right.
If you're in the UK, you can donate to us with the pound sign, the dollar pound sign that is the pound sign for
The UK.
the UK, Goddess Land.
Mhm.
And in the US, it's the dollar sign, Real and Raw Podcast.
That's right.
We appreciate all
So
the people that have donated in the past,
right.
and we ask,
And we have the information on the screen there, so you guys
yep,
just
yep.
follow that
No,
there.
I'm saying that for the people on the radio,
All right, on
as
the
you just
radio.
said, as
All
you
right.
just so eloquently said,
I
the
did.
radio people, they need to know.
Yeah, we
So
did
I'm
say
letting the
that.
radio people know.
That's right.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we
And
want
we
to,
love you guys. We love our listeners and the people
yes,
that tune in and chime in.
yes.
But yeah,
And
let's
reach
grow.
out
Let's
to
grow
us.
together, guys. Let's grow. Let's grow. Let's grow.
That's right. That's right. And we want
Hmm
to thank you for joining us today on the Goddard's Real and Raw podcast. My name is Pedro.
My name is Tara.
Have a good evening.
Have a good evening.
Peace.
Peace.